Hi, this is Rick Bice with Bice Fit Exercises on behalf of Edmonds Park and Recreation. Today we're going to go through a circuit training class. What we'll do is we'll alternate between strength training exercises for the muscles, bones, and connective tissues, and then cardiovascular exercise for the heart, lungs, and circulatory system. What we'll do, it's all timed, so what we'll do is we'll do a minute on an exercise. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll do another minute on the same exercise or something very similar, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So I'll call all those out as they happen. What you'll need for this exercise program today is a chair over here, maybe some light to medium dumbbells, and some resistance tubing or band. Maybe light or medium, whatever you have on that. With or without handles, doesn't matter on that. We will begin with a warm-up. We will go through the exercises, then we'll finish off with a cool down and then some stretches at the end. This is all at your own pace, so we strive for a minute's worth of work. If you need to take your breaks, quicker than that, or if by the end of the minute you're not tired or fatigued, you could just go straight through that break that we have. So it's all up to you, the kind of resistance you use, whatever works for your body. Make sure your surrounding area is clear, that you've got room to move around, arm's width sort of stuff at least. You have a proper footwear for the floor that you have. If you've got slippery hardwoods, make sure that you're wearing good shoes that aren't going to slip and slide. If you've got thick carpet, making sure that your feet aren't going to get, isn't going to get caught on the carpet or something and trip you up. So just being careful. All right, let's begin. Okay, here we go. We are going to start with our warm-up today. So let's get moving. Just going to do some easy side to side. Remember, our warm-up, is designed to just get our bodies ready for more activity. So this is not brisk. This is not vigorous at all. Just nice and easy, nice and slow. By the end of 2 minutes, heart rate, breathing should be up a little bit. We're just circulating the blood throughout the body, greasing up the joints a little bit, stretching out the lungs. So nice and easy. I'm going to add a little cross punch here. So anytime you're ready, you can do what I'm doing or warm up any way that you see fit, as long as you're feeling good and safe. Remember to clear out a space, good arm's width all around you at least, good 5 by 5 foot spot if you have. Making sure that you're picking up your feet, especially if you're on carpets or rugs. Making sure that your shoes are not too slick for the floor that you're on, that sort of stuff. Just staying safe, making sure you got no dumbbells, coffee tables, all that sort of stuff in the way. We got about 46 seconds left. I'm going to switch to a ladder climb here. 3, 2, 1. All right, so up and down. Just mimicking some of the exercises that we'll be doing. When we do this on warm-up and cardio, it's going to be a little faster and brisker than if you were to do it with resistance. So nice and easy. You should be able to talk, of course, meaning that you should not be out of breath. All right, we got another 10 seconds. Let's keep this up. Keep moving. Remember to have water near you so you can take sips anytime you get thirsty. All right, well done. Okay, first thing we got is our sit to stand. So you'll need your chair and some dumbbells. So making sure that your chair, nice and solid, not going to tip over on you, not going to move, not going to slide around. I've got mine sitting on a mat, so it's not going to slip and slide on me. A couple dumbbells. Remember, dry hands, good firm grip. So first thing we got is our sit to stand. So making sure Now you know where that chair is behind you. Feet about hip to shoulder width apart. You're going to sit down, sit back. You're going to lean backwards slightly, and then stand up, lean over your feet and stand. Feet shouldn't move anywhere. If feet don't go anywhere, then you know exactly where that chair is, right? Take a seat and lean back. And what we're going to do is add a bicep curl. So I'm going to take a seat, lean back, bend the elbows all the way, and then straighten all the way, nice and slow and controlled. Lean over my feet, stand up, sit back down, lean backwards, letting the abdominals do some work. Okay. Now add that bicep curl in. Make sure to sit more on the front half of the chair so that you have some room to lean backwards. A couple more seconds. Nice and slow and controlled. There you go. So remember, no momentum. Nice and slow and controlled, making sure that you're not bumping against the chair and having it maybe slide back every time. So you know where that chair is when you take a seat. Sitting, of course, on the front half of this chair so that you have room to lean back. If the back of the chair is touching on the back, try to sit forward a little bit more so that you can get some abdominal work. And then those dumbbells with these bicep curls, right? All right, so in position again, and let's start. So taking a seat, lean back, bicep curl. 3 separate exercises, all melted into one. We're getting our bicep muscles in the upper arms. We're getting some abdominal muscles in the torso, along with spinal muscles. We're getting some hip and glutes in the rear. And of course, thigh muscle. Again, feet about hip to shoulder width apart, so adjust as you need to. Try to keep those feet on the floor at all times. And as always, breathe. Make sure not to hold your breath at all. Always breathing. 10 seconds. All right. Nice job there. Well done. Okay, so getting rid of your dumbbells. Get rid of your chair. And what we'll do next is something with the resistance tubing or your band. So I've got resistance tubing with or without handles. You're probably not going to use the handles anyway, depending on how long the tubing is and how long your arms are. So what we're going to do is you're going to bring that tubing around your back, right at armpit level. All right. And then you're going to start with the hands at the armpits, and then you're going to push out. All right, and then back in nice and slow. Push out all the way till your elbows are straight, and back in. Whatever stance gives you good support. You want to bear down on those abdominals. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll add a little bit of protraction. So we're going to push out as far as we can, and then we're going to stretch. Add a little extra pop, and then back in. Push out as far as you can, add an extra stretch, and then back in. Okay? You can do it all in one motion, or you can do it in 2 separate little motions. Just get that extra stretch. About 17 seconds. Nice and controlled. Breathing. Dry hands, right? You don't want these bands, snapping back at you or slipping out of your hands. A couple more seconds. There we go. All right, take a break. So where you grab on the band is up to you, and that will determine, of course, how tough it is. Not only just the the thickness and the tension of the band, but also where you grab. So the further I grab to the end, the easier it's going to be. It's going to pull on this band less. If I grab further in, it's going to be tougher. I'll get a little bit more resistance. So play around with that and see what works for you as far as resistance wise. All right, let's get in position again. So abdominals braced. We want equal amount of tension on both hands. There we go. Make sure to breathe. Good posture, standing up tall. There you go, looking great there. Good firm grip. Only thing moving, elbows and shoulders, shoulder blades. No hips involved. No head or neck moving around. Again, bearing down on those abdominals. We got about 20 seconds. Here we're working pectorals, which are the chest muscles. We've got triceps in the backs of the upper arms, and then front deltoid in the front of the shoulder. Those are our main movers. A little bit of serratus anterior in the upper rib area, especially with the protraction, that little pop we're doing at the end. All right, nice job. Well done. Okay, so rid of the resistance tubing. Let's grab a dumbbell, one dumbbell, and your chair. Remember to grab sips of water too whenever you're thirsty. So a couple different ways we can do this. This is a standing exercise, but we're going to bend and use the chair for support. Easier way is going to be to stand in the back of the chair, 1 foot forward. Doesn't matter which one, whatever's comfortable for you. And you're going to lean forward using the chair for support and bring that elbow back. Hand is going to go right to the top of the ribs where the armpit is, and then back down nice and slow. Okay, you're going to be pulling against gravity on this one. If you want it a little tougher, use the front part of the chair, just kind of leaning forward. All right, now being careful, making sure this chair isn't going to tip. So maybe in the front part of the chair or the middle, whatever feels comfortable, right on the leg possibly. You just have to figure out where's a good spot on your chair where it's not going to tip or move. But here we're pulling straight back, or straight up, elbow goes back, squeezing the shoulder blade towards the spine, and back down. We'll do one arm and then the other. You can switch at any time, of course, if you like. Elbow goes straight up, shoulder blade squeezes toward the center of your spine. Nice and slow and controlled, not letting that dumbbell fall down or anything. All right, take a break there. And then again, same thing for the other side. You can use the chair, and again, whatever leg feels comfortable in front. You're just hinging forward, okay? Not letting that low back round out, but hinging forward. If I do this here, I'm just gonna hinge forward, try to keep that low back straight. This sort of motion here. The more forward we are, the more we're gonna be in line with gravity here, as opposed to being more upright using the back of the chair. So it all depends on what's comfortable to you, how much resistance you want. Try to keep that head above the heart if you can, especially if you're prone to lightheadedness or dizziness. Here I've got my weight is shifted more onto this front leg, and I'm just hinge forward, elbow goes back, squeeze that shoulder blade towards the spine. We got about 10 seconds. Head is just neutral, doing whatever your chest is doing. Here we're working upper back muscles between the shoulder blades. All right, nice job. We're getting some bicep in the front of the upper arm, and then rear deltoid in the back of the shoulder. All right, so let's see, get rid of that dumbbell, move your chair out of the way. We've got a cardiovascular, so make sure your space is clean, nothing to trip over. Give yourself a little bit of room. Again, at least an arm's width all around you if you can. Now you can get going right on cardiovascular, or you can wait. We got a transition of another, looks like 11 seconds. Great time to grab, a sip of water. All right, I'm going to start off. We'll do a little bit of front heel tapping. Let's do that here. So 2 minutes and 20 seconds is what we got going for our cardio. Cardio is just like the warm-up, a little faster, a little more brisk. Add some front punches here. How fast you go is up to you. What you do is up to you. You can follow along with me, or if you've got a treadmill or elliptical or rowing machine in the same room, punching bag, aerobic step, any of those things will work just great. Stairs that you want to climb up and down, jump rope. If you've done martial arts classes or Zumba, aerobics, sports, any of that sort of stuff, dance classes. All right, I'm going to switch to toe taps here. 3, 2, 1. Still going to do the forward punching. And again, whatever pace is up to you. Think about a talk test. We got 1 minute and 20 left. Think about, if you can talk like I'm talking and you're not too out of breath, then you're probably okay. That's about where you want to be. If you can't talk, that means you're probably, pushing too hard. Maybe going too fast. Whatever you're doing, slow it up a little bit to make sure you can still talk. All right, I'm going to switch to bicep curl, hamstring curl. 3, 2, 1. So bicep curls, I'm just bending those elbows and then kicking myself in the rear, or pretending to at least, with the hamstring curls here. Nice and quick. We're doing this faster than we would, if we had resistance. It's okay to get momentum involved in this. Nice and easy. We got about 20 seconds here. Think of the singing test too. Singing. If you can sing right now, then you probably need to work harder. Maybe go a little faster, whatever you're doing. You shouldn't be able to sing, but you should be able to talk. We're just trying to get the heart rate and the breathing elevated. All right, nice job. Well done. Okay, so we need your chair next. So grab a chair, something sturdy, of course, that's not going to tilt or tip on you. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a seat on the front half of the chair, okay? Meaning that when I lean back, or I want some room to be able to lean back to engage my abdominal muscles. If I'm sitting too far back, the back of the chair is going to stop me, okay? So sitting more on that front half of the chair, on the forward part, so that I can lean back. Now what we'll do here is we're going to do a march. So lean back, let the abdominals do some work, and then we'll add a little bit of marching. So we got abdominals and hip flexors. And then what we'll do is we'll add arms, okay? This is the seated dead bug. Think about if, a bug laying on its back with its legs up in the air moving. Not really quite dead, but that's kind of the motion we're looking for. This can be done laying on your back. If you want more work, that's going to be harder to do as opposed to just seated. If you get tired, you can sit upright or just keep moving the dead bug while it's seated upright, and then lean back as you feel comfortable. It's all up to you. You're going to feel this in those hip flexors and the fronts of the hips. Getting a lot of work trying to march while you're seated. If that gets tiring, take a break on the marches or the shoulders, whatever works for you. Or try to put it all together. A couple more seconds here. Keep breathing. All right, nice job. Okay, so a little abdominal work here. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a sword draw. So this one, we're going to sit more upright rather than lean back. You can lean back a little bit to engage the abdominals, but try not to lean back too much on this one. So what we'll do, if you want, a small dumbbell could give you some resistance, or without, you're going to act like you're taking a sword from your scabbard on the opposite arm, opposite hip, and you're going to raise it up like you're going to brandish it. And then put it away. Raise it up. Okay? So we'll do about 30 seconds per side here. Palm is going to face in, and then it rotates, and now the palm faces forward. Nice and straight arm for the most part on this one. Not like you're doing this, but one motion. Just a diagonal motion. And you're leaning back just barely. All right. Let's switch hands here. So lean back just slightly, and now the opposite arm. Again, you can use a little dumbbell if you want. Something light if you're gonna, use resistance. And it's the same sort of motion. Rotate in, rotate out along this diagonal pattern from your hip to your opposite shoulder. Good posture, breathing. A couple more seconds. Nice, great job there. All right, well done. Okay, so let's get rid of the chair, and you're gonna need some dumbbells again. Remember to grab a sip of water when you need to. All right, so we have bicep curls and heel raises. So standing up nice and tall, good posture. We're gonna start with the curl. I'm gonna do supination curls. So my palms are gonna be faced in, and then what I'll do is I'll rotate them forward and up as I bend the elbows, and then as I straighten, I'm gonna rotate them again so they're facing in. So up and down, fully straighten and fully bend the elbow, but controlled. Nice and slow and easy, controlled, up and down. All right, good posture. Working the bicep muscle, the upper arm. Nothing moving but the shoulders. No shoulders, no swinging arms, no swinging your hips. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll add heel raise to it. So what I'll do is I'll alternate. So I'm gonna a bicep curl, and then I'll go up on the heel of the toes as high as I can, and then back down, and then curl. Up as high as you can. So we're working the calf muscles also. Toes are going to point forward for the most part, about hip width apart for your feet. Nice and controlled, both directions. Looking good there. Couple more seconds. All right, take a break. Excellent. So about 30 seconds. So you can do this also, single if you want to alternate arms, as opposed to both at the same time. All right. What we can do is add a little pop to the toes. So as you go up and down, I'll show you from the side here. Bring those toes up in the air, and then the heels. And then kind of pick when you want to do the bicep curl. Doing the bicep curl when you're up on your toes is going to work the balance a little more too. So it just depends on where you do it. All right, so another minute in position. All right, so here's what I'll do. I'll go up and then down and pop the toes up. So a little bit more balance work because I'm up on the toes as I'm curling too. But again, remember, good posture, breathing, head stays neutral. Make sure not to hunch up the shoulders at all. And then how high you get up on those toes and the heels is up to you. And just watch that balance. If you lose that balance, take a step, no worries, restart. Firm grip, dry hands on these dumbbells. You don't want to dump them on your feet or your floors. About 7 seconds. Keep going. All right, nice job there. Okay, so we got we're gonna keep one dumbbell. I'm gonna switch up to a lighter dumbbell on this one. So just one dumbbell. And what we're gonna do is a torso rotation. Okay, so you could use your wall or something as kind of a target. You don't have to touch it, but just kind of think about a spot that you want to touch. So if I say, right around shoulder height for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slightly bent in the knees. As I'm going to rotate to the opposite side where I'm holding the dumbbell with both hands, and I'm going to hinge slightly forward too. So what I'll do, and I want to stand far enough away that what I'll do is I'll rotate and then push my hands out. Okay. And I don't want to hit my wall with the dumbbell, so I'll stand far enough away that I'm not touching it. I'll show you a different view. So what I'm doing is I'm just rotating and then pushing my arms out diagonal. Again, about shoulder height, head height. Rotating the whole body, pelvis and hips. You can see my feet are swiveling, kind of shifting weight from side to side. And then I'm just doing a diagonal push from below my hips up to above shoulder height. Getting some glutes, feeling that on the outside of the hips and the glutes right now. Upper body's doing a little bit of work, shoulders, arms. All right, take a break there. So again, good posture, you know, breathing the whole time as I'm doing this. Just kind of back and forth, rotating. Head is just going to stay with what the chest is doing. Okay, I'm not looking around or using my neck muscles. So what I'll do now is I'm going to switch. Go up this way. So when the timer starts, now I'll switch and do from the opposite side. Okay. All right, about 5 seconds. So now I'll start on my left side, both hands. And here we go. I'll show you this view here. So I'm just rotating hips, torso, pelvis, shoulders, everything's rotating at the same time here. A little bit of a bend or a hinge at the bottom part, and then extension throughout the whole torso and the hips as I get up to, you know, shoulder to head height here. Pivoting with my feet, so my weight is shifting back and forth on my left foot, now on my right foot. About 8 seconds. Keep breathing. I feel this, the low back and the hips mostly, the glutes. Nice job. All right, so getting rid of the dumbbell, we have another cardio up here. Again, you can get going right away. Or, you know, take a break, get a sip of water, clean up your space, make sure there's no dumbbells around to trip over, etc. All right. What do we do? I'm going to start with the wide march here. Start back a little further. We got about 15 seconds to the official start, but again, I'm just going to get going now myself. And a narrow march. I'm going to move around a little bit, side to side or front to back. However much space you have, you know, is different with everybody. So, you know, how many steps I take as opposed to how many steps you take or not. It's all up to the space you have. All right. I'm going to go forward 4 steps and wide. Backwards 4 steps and narrow. Wide, narrow. Wide for 4 steps. 1, 3, 4. Forward and narrow. And back. And wide. And narrow. And wide. And forward 4. Backwards 4. And narrow. There you go. All right, switch to a ladder climb here. So marching, a little higher march than what we were just doing. And then we're getting some shoulder press involved. No resistance. So really, you know, making sure the speed is brisk and consistent. We're trying to get that heart rate up again, get the lungs pumping. Got about 1 minute and 8 seconds left. All right, let's do a little bit of hips. I'm going to hinge forward slightly. And now I'm going to push back with the hands and also the legs. Squeezing the rump on each cheek as I go back. I'm nice and wide with the feet. Legs are straight. And I'm just hinged forward a little bit. I don't want to arch my low back. So that's why I'm kind of leaning and hinging forward. All right, I'm gonna switch it up here. I'm gonna do more tricep extension and knee curls again. Keep moving. Again, nice and brisk. You know, that may be faster than I'm doing or slower, all depending on what's comfortable to you. If you've got music going, something a good, 130 beats per minute. That's about the speed we're looking for. All right, nice job. Well done there. Grab yourself a sip of water if you need be. So we are going to do a sumo squat. So grabbing one dumbbell, grab a sip of water, get yourself situated. So what I'll do is I'm going to hold this in front of me like this, 2 hands in front with the bell down. So this is a wider squat, okay? So feet are going to be at least shoulder width, if not wider than shoulder if you can. Toes are going to point out at a good 45-degree angle if you can. Kind of depends on how much range of motion you have in the hips. And then what we're looking to do is to sit down, sit back, squat down as far as you can, and then back up. Okay? If you can get the thighs, down parallel to the floor, even better. It all depends on what's comfortable for you. A little wider with the feet, it will help. A little more stretch. And then keeping that low back straight. Head and chest are facing up. And the rump is just going to sit back. Your weight goes on your heels and your arches. Just sink straight down and back. And how wide your feet are is up to you. How low you go is all up to you, okay? Nice grip on that dumbbell, or kettlebell works even better if you have that. Letting those arms just dangle. Keeping that weight close to your body. Breathing. One more here. All right, take a break. Nice job there. So getting thigh muscles, we're getting glutes in the rear, outside of the hips, doing some work. Inner thigh and hamstring having to do some work and stabilize. And then, torso and spinal muscles, abdominal muscles, arms, having to do a little work holding that dumbbell. So just remember breathing, and how deep you go is up to you. Deeper you go, of course, the more work it's going to be. No pain, no discomfort, whatever range of motion your joints work with. Okay, let's get in position again. So again, nice and wide, wider than shoulder, toes 45-degree angle out, and you're just sitting back. And just adjust that range of motion, in or out, whatever works for you. Really sit down and back. How low you go is up to you. I'm doing a little more of a shallow squat. Making sure your feet are not slipping out, right? Again, depends on your floor and your shoes. Last thing you want is have your foot slip out or something under you. 10 seconds. One more here. All right, nice job, well done. Okay, so next one is a shrug. So grabbing a couple or another dumbbell, so you have 2, or 2 kettlebells, whatever you have, or if you've got grocery bags full of cans, whatever you have that can work. So regular shrug, normally it's just straight up and down, okay? Bringing those elbows up to the, shoulders up to the ears, letting the arms dangle. Here what we're gonna do is we're gonna make circles. So forward and up as far as you can, then backwards and back down. So I'm gonna start a circle going forward first. Bracing the abdominals, good stance. Standing up nice and tall, good posture. Arms are just dangling. This is all in the shoulders and shoulder blades. And roll however big you can, forward and up and back and down. And press those shoulders down at the bottom. And at any time, you can always switch and go the opposite direction, starting and going backwards first, and up, and then forward and down. So play around with which direction you want to do, and just switch at any time. Keep going. Got about 15 seconds. Good posture, tight abdominals, breathing. Your head is just neutral. And again, try to get a good range of motion all the way around. All right, take a break there. So we got about 30 seconds. Set these dumbbells down for a little bit. Let the arms and the grip relax. So remember, how high you go is up to you. Try to get those shoulders up as high as you can and as far back as you can, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and then far down. And then when you go forward, same thing. Bring those elbows forward. Whatever range of motion you can, comfortably. Palms are facing in. You don't want any pinching or catching inside the shoulder joint. So again, what works for your body may be different than what I'm doing. And then whatever kind of resistance and weight you're using, that will also dictate how tough this is. About 45 seconds left. So these are just regular shrugs, but we're doing circles with them. I'm going to switch back around and go this way. Nice, good, firm grip on those dumbbells. Dry hands. You don't want to dump these on your feet or your hardwood floors. So a good grip. And again, it's all in the shoulders and the upper trapezius between the neck and the shoulder. That's the major muscle we're using there. Elbows are straight, just dangling at your sides here. Palms facing your body. A couple more. All right, nice job there. Well done. Okay, get rid of these dumbbells here. All right, let's take a little break. Let's see. So we will use one dumbbell. So grab one dumbbell. And then what you need to do is find a wall or a door. Something sturdy, something stable that's not going to move. If it's a door especially, something that's not going to, give and open up on you, or someone else is going to, from the other side, open it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean back against the wall, and I'm going to bend those knees a little bit and push my low back into the wall. Okay, I'm going to pelvic tilt slightly with the hips, push my low back in the wall. I'm going to hold on to the dumbbell with both hands in front of me, starting just below the belly button area. And now I'm going to raise them both hands up just to the side of my head and then back down. Okay, not far enough. I don't want to hit the wall with my dumbbell. So thinking good posture. I'm just bringing this dumbbell up to where your hands get to the side of your head. You can do a little wider if you want. It kind of depends on your range of motion, how long your arms are. But abdominals are stable, hips are stable, everything, nothing moving but your arms and shoulder blades. Elbows are fairly straight, and they may bend as you get close to the top of your head, and then they'll straighten as you get back down to your waist. And you can alternate sides, or you can stick with just one side for a while. It's all up to you. A couple more seconds here. Whichever hand you like on the top or bottom, or maybe they're together. All depends on what's comfortable for you. So here we're getting some good shoulder work. Again, some more of that upper trapezius, arms and shoulders, a little bit of chest and back having to stabilize, abdominals and hips and low back stabilizing, thighs having to hold nice and steady. All right, looking good there. We got about 10 more seconds. Keep breathing. All right, let's try it again. So in position on that wall or door, and just barely squatting down. It's not really a wall sit. We're just, I got the knees slightly bent, and I'm pushing my hips and my low back especially into the wall. So it's that low back is flat against the wall. So is my middle back. That my upper back's away from the wall a little bit. Head's away from the wall. But really, the contact point is more that low and middle back, a little bit of the hips against the wall. Feet will be away from the wall. Making sure, again, with your shoes on the floor, if things are slick, you don't want your feet slipping out in front of you and having you land on your rear. So making sure that whatever you're standing on and whatever shoes or whatever you're using are not going to be slick. Keep going here. There you go. Well done. All right. Nice job there. Okay, so we have another cardiovascular here we're going to get to. So again, you can get to that right away or grab a sip of water, clear your space. Making sure that, again, you have a nice area to work with. And, if I take steps, like I'll get going right now. If I'm doing some, multiple steps to the side, you do whatever works in your space. If you have a space that has a good amount of room, take more steps than I do, or take less. This is kind of a side hula here. Out to the side. If you need to just do one step, that's fine. If you can move around a little bit, go for it. We got about 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. Keep moving consistently. All right, a little bit of side tapping going on. And do a little tap into the back. And what I'll do is do a tricep kickback with this. So I'm going to hinge and lean forward a little bit. Bringing those arms up behind me slightly. Squeezing those shoulder blades together a little bit towards the spine. And then straightening my elbow and bending it. All right. More of a ladder climb here. Minute 20 left. You march up as high as you can comfortably. Same with the hands. If you need a range of motion that's a little smaller, do that. Just depends on you. All right. Some more bicep curls. Some side steps. And we got no weight or resistance, so it's okay to get some momentum involved in this. All right, I'm going to go around the back here, like I'm doing the backstroke swimming, leading with my pinkies. And how big of a circle you make is up to you. It might be just something a little smaller. Just kind of depends on your range of motion, all right? Keep it comfortable, no pain. 15 seconds. And let's do some scissors. So palms up, and elbows are at your sides, bent at about 90 degrees, and you're just scissoring back and forth. All right, nice job. So we're going to cool down and balance kind of all in one motion. So let's keep moving. A little slower though. Let's slow things down. So now we actively want to cool down, getting our heart rate lower. So the opposite of the warm-up. We're warmed up great now. Heart rate is kicking. Now we want to get that heart rate lower, below 100 beats per minute if we can. So, if you're checking, if you've got a little watch or you check your pulse, below 100 beats per minute is deemed safe before you just stop. If you want, you can grab some water and just walk around. March around, whatever works for you. I'm going to shut this timer down. Keep moving here. Even if it's just something small. All right, let's add a little balance to this. So what we're going to do is a tightrope walk. So think about a tightrope. You've seen someone walking in the circus. If that tightrope is as wide as your hips, it's going to be pretty easy, right? Walking forth like that. Show from the side, real easy. If that tightrope is smaller, say as wide as both your feet put together, okay, so now that tightrope, a little different, a little tougher. And if that tightrope is, say, as wide as your foot, now it's even tougher, okay, as wide as your foot. So that gets a little harder with the balance. We're still moving and cooling down, but now we're adding a little balance to it. Try not to look at your feet. If you need even more work, closing one eye, closing both eyes. You can also go backwards. That's going to give you some good work. Just be careful of what's behind you. Any tripping hazards. If I go heel to toe, that makes it even tougher, right? So if I'm actually touching heel to toe, it gets tougher with that. So play around with that, with your tightrope and see what works for you in the space that you have. Trying not to look at your feet. You could even look to the side, right? If I look to the side, even tougher because now I can't even look forward, let alone look at my feet. So just playing around with what works for you. All right. Let's do a little bit of a sleeping dog. So basically we're going to step over sleeping dogs. How big that dog is up to you. So if I step over a small dog, it's going to be pretty easy. Don't want to wake the dog up, right? So it's just going to, I've got 4 or 5 dogs, right? Stepping over. Maybe the dogs are a little bigger now. Okay. Bigger the dog, the more work it's going to be. Slow and controlled, okay? Not fast. We don't want to wake the dog up, so we want to be sneaky. All right. Now I'm stepping over a large dog. Now what I'll do is I'll freeze. So step over and up, and oh, dog's about to wake up. Better freeze. Step over the next one and freeze. Think of those old Tom and Jerry cartoons, stepping over the bulldog, and all of a sudden he's about to wake up, and they freeze. Nice and easy. And a freeze. How long that freeze is up to you. Maybe it's 2 or 3 seconds. Maybe you freeze for 10 seconds. All up to you. Depends on how hard you want to work there. Oh, losing that balance there. Getting some work on the calf muscles and the ankles, hip flexors. All right, nice job. Keep working. So those are some things you can do for balance, along with, just a single leg balance. If you want to stand on one foot, like a stork, and just standing, that sort of stuff, you could do some motions. Hold a dumbbell out and pull it in and out while you stand on one foot. Close one eye, close both eyes, whatever you need to do in order to make this single leg balance tougher to do. Maybe have a friend kind of just kind of give you little shoves and pushes gently just to kind of challenge your balance, that sort of stuff. Stuff like that can work really well. Okay. Let's finish up our cool down here. A little more balance. Now I'm going to do some toe walking. Up on my toes, work on the calf muscles. Also balance. I'll close one eye. You take one eye away, makes it a little bit tougher to balance. Your depth perception is off. And I can, if I don't have a lot of space, maybe I just tick-tock side to side, okay? Otherwise, trying to walk forward or backwards, whatever works for you. Now I'll try some heel walking. Same sort of thing. I can tick-tock side to side, close one eye, or just walk around a little bit. Slow and controlled. Keep moving. Should be cooling down really well now. Getting our balance in also. Excellent. Well done there. All right, let's get some stretches in. Okay. Nice job here. So we're going to stretch out the back of the thigh. So what I'll do is I'm going to squat down slightly. Bring that front leg out straight in front of me, toe pointed up. And I'm just going to squat down and lean forward till I feel a stretch along the back of the thigh, my rump, maybe the calf. And I can't even, maybe I can just lean forward, do if I want to, as if I'm grabbing for my knee or my shin. Keep that low back straight. Keep breathing nice and gentle and relax. Keep holding that stretch. Switch to the other side. So around 20 to 30 seconds is kind of what we're shooting for. Nice and easy. If I want more of a calf stretch, I bring my, those toes up towards my nose more. If I want less calf muscle involved, I can relax the ankle and let those toes drop down and get more, behind the knee or the hamstring behind the thigh. No jerking, no bouncing, real gentle. Nice job there. Okay, let's do another stretch. So we're going to do upper back, middle back. So if I pelvic tilt, thrusting my hips forward, that'll straighten up that low back. I tighten my abdominals, clench the cheeks together on my rump. And now with that low back straight, I'm going to push my hands away from my body as far as I can. I'll interlace my fingers if I want, and just straighten those elbows all the way, pushing as far as I can. Try to round out the upper and middle back. That low back is straight. Keep breathing. I get a little bit of a stretch in my forearms, the top part of my forearms. Always breathing. All right, one more stretch here. Something for the front. So we're going to do chest and fronts of the shoulders. We're going to be in this 90-90 position. So 90 degrees in the armpit, 90 degrees in the elbow joint. And I'm going to bring my elbows backwards. My arms are going to go back. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together. If I want, I can bring my hands together, get a little bit more of a stretch. Depends on your range of motion. It's okay to lean back and let the hips come forward. Keep your balance. Keep breathing. Expand your chest up nice and tall. Now I'm going to straighten my elbows. Keep thumbs are back, palms up. Keep bringing my arms back. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Dip my fingers down. I'm going to bend those wrists. Okay. Now I feel a good stretch in my palms and my wrists, the bottoms of my forearms. And here we go. Nice job. Get everything a little shake out. Take stock, see how you feel. Everything feeling good. Make sure to drink plenty of water. All right, nice job. Thank you. Thanks for the workout.